Hello, Fear Hippie here is here, and today we are going to see what appears on my YouTube recommendations. We are going to be watching the video How the Walking Dead Ruined Dead by Daylight by DJ Lucid. Haven't heard watched his videos before, but I'm sure he's an awesome person, so let's get into things.
Dead by Daylight chapter pretty much broke the entire fucking game, and honestly it's very obvious that behavior rushed this chapter. This chapter was not given as much care as it should have gotten, especially considering it's The Walking Dead and coming out right after Tokyo Ghoul and FNAF. Yeah, we need to wrap this up, bro. I'm not gonna lie. One of the main things is everything in this game is now buggy as hell. Like when you're loading into a game and the offering screen, there's just a random fucking pole just there. I don't really know how we messed that up. Apparently it's like this asset back here or something. I don't know. Something about it is just buggy as hell, and I don't know how they messed that up really. But hey, it is what it is. Also, they fixed
his name is Jim, and he's a wonderful, lovely ball.
Kaneki's bug where if you're holding like left or back, it won't break your character anymore. But this character is still buggy as hell. Sometimes your hits that you deserve just don't happen. Sometimes you hit survivors through walls when you know that shouldn't be the case. And sometimes just the animation glitches like crazy. I know that Spirit has some animation glitches apparently. And one of my favorite killers to play that I can't even play no more, Houndmaster has multiple bugs where she just can't use the fucking dog. Like you will hit somebody with the dog and nothing will happen.
She's always been buggy, unfortunately.
The dog despawns. Deathslinger also has some bugs where you hit somebody with your power with your gun and it just bounces back like you did.
Really?
Also, I've been playing a lot of Legion recently. I noticed it a little bit, but I didn't really think about it too much. But there's also a bug where if you're playing Legion and you're using your power, you won't detect anybody with Killer Instinct. I thought that was me just messing up until I was playing on Midwich and I realized I wasn't getting any heartbeats. Like, that's how I know it's bugged out. Not to mention the most game-breaking bug in the game, you can't even start chase with a survivor. The only way that the entity will block a window from a survivor vaulting it too many times is if they vault it too many times in chase. But there's a bug
the chase
where the
bug
chase
is
doesn't
game breaking.
No music, no nothing. So places like Shack are infinite if you're not playing like Xenomorph. And obviously that's very game breaking because a bunch of killers, mainly M1 killers, need bloodlust. Like it's a need in the game. And yeah, that is obviously the biggest bug. I don't really know how that was in the PTB and came out into the live game and with more bugs. Just another reason why Dead by Daylight is kind of disappointing right now, I'm not gonna lie. Also for Clown, they made his pink bottles worse, but made his yellow bottles better, and that kind of made him even more brain dead than he was before. Like he would put down a yellow bottle.
I like the yellow bottles being stronger, but the activation time needs to be increased back up, and then just increase the overall duration so that survivors can possibly get the yellow bottles a little bit easier as well. Because it feels really rough to go up against. It feels like old school merchant to a degree.
And he could pretty much outplay you on any palette in the game. It was kind of broken, and they were supposed to change it either by nerfing it or make it
gives him map
longer to come back or something like that.
Because he doesn't have to hit
I don't know how they
trees to
said
get
they're
around
going
the
to change
map
it from
good.
the PTB, and they still haven't. It's kind of crazy, and I think it is a little lazy. I'm not going to lie. They just made the character even more brain dead. And another thing I really want to
Clown is not a brain dead character. In no way, shape, or form Clown is a brain dead character. He has a lot of different things he can do, but making the activation timer lower has definitely lowered the skill floor to a degree. I do not like that. And he's not really a strong killer anyways, but making it, he affects newer players a lot more now.
Talk about, instead of like taking their time to get all these bugs fixed and stuff like that, they decide to release another map. But the worst part about it is this map is literally just a different map with a shitty recolor, and the main building is literally like a jungle gym. Like one jungle gym is the main building. Like this is not a map. This is not a map. This map is terrible. We need to remove maps. We need to stop making these maps. Not only that, but maps are lazy. Like you're telling me we got a new map taking however the fuck many gigabytes of storage just for the addition, the main building, to be one pallet gym. And the worst part about it, bro, I forgot we even had a FNAF map.
I still haven't encountered that towel yet, and that towel is something I really have been wanting to encounter
in this game, bro. I forgot we had FNAF. The most I played on that FNAF map was in the PTB. Like, other than the PTB, I've never played on that map. I've played that map maybe
They had a whole mode dedicated so you could play exclusively that map, and even afterwards it was still pretty common because a lot of people used the Greenville offering so that they could get that map.
times, maybe. And even though some people, myself maybe a little bit, would say that map was kind of lazy, just the fact that they took Unknown's map and replaced the theater with a Five Nights at Freddy's thing, but it's full of Easter eggs, and it's obvious.
Okay, they did not replace that map at all. That is a completely different map. Greenville Theater, the whole design on it is completely different. Freddy's is a square layout. Greenville's is a rectangle. Greenville, you also have to do mill gens to win. Freddy's, you can basically do gens wherever and win. And the main building is vastly different. The only thing it has is just the similar themes of the hoods and of the overall layout. I will say they needed to add an actual parking spot to that map, a parking lot to Freddy Fazbear's map, because the outside feels a little vacant, but they are nothing alike, Harley.
That they really cared about it. So even though the whole map wasn't like an indoor pizzeria, I think it's whatever. I still love the map. I haven't played that map once, and then the map we get after that map is a shitty map. Like, the map is so ass. Hold
It's
on,
not really a map,
mention,
it's
we
a
already
tile,
have how
although they
many?
had to
4,
map
8,
and tile
12, 24,
multiple
48.
times,
If I
alternating
counted right,
between
which I
the
probably
two.
didn't, we have around 50 fucking 7 maps in this game, bro. We do not need 57 fucking maps. So what are we doing, behavior? Like, why do we have 3 Ormans, 4 different Yamaokas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why do we have 5 of the same map? These maps, they all have different main buildings and stuff, but they're from the same place. Same thing with Coldwind. I don't think we need 5 fucking Coldwind maps, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Just for us to get a new map, and literally everything new about the map you can see in the photo. Like, you can't see the inside of the pizzeria for FNAF, but this is literally just the whole map. Like, why did we put this in the game? And yeah, these maps are just late.
I'm perfectly fine with mounts being from the same round, but I will say all main buildings need to be different. And I wish they would have more variation between the different shapes of the overall mount. So more like even a pentagon, a triangle type mount, something different. I feel like would be fun.
Easy, we have too many. So
A
instead of releasing
circle
more
maps are fun
lazy
too.
maps, why don't we just get rid of the ones that we don't like? Like, I know you put a lot of assets and effort into them, but there's no reason to really have them, bro. Like, if I play on Toba Landing or whatever it is, the singularity map, one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose it. I think I
love that
noticed this
map.
a little bit by myself playing, but I don't really like pay too much attention to like voice lines or anything. But apparently voice lines for survivors and screams and killer powers, they're just bugged at the moment. I haven't seen too many, especially as somebody who plays Pinhead a lot. I haven't had any bugs with his voice lines in specifically, like in particular. And last thing I want to talk about, negative.
I haven't seen that yet, but I know Michonne, or however you pronounce her name, she does have a audio bug with her grunts, where her grunts are noticeably louder, and I really hate that. Same thing with the main menu. The main menu has a zombie in it, and that's the reason I have not been playing Dead by Daylight, is because I hate hearing that zombie every time I log in.
Negativity. The last thing I want to talk about negatively is the new survivors, just how loud they are. Their screams are terrible.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Michonne. Am I saying her name right? Michonne?
Same thing I
Michelle. I
said.
saw a TikTok of her being infected by plague, and oh my god, bro.
It's
if I
bad.
find it,
It
I'm gonna
is
put it
very
on screen.
bad.
It is hilarious. It is laughably bad. And yeah, I think the release of this chapter isn't going really well. For the most part, I don't think it's going very well. It's just the only thing I want to say is the reason we have a PTB is because it's the public test beta. You test things out. If there's bugs, behavior looks at them and they're supposed to fix them. Things that aren't working right or working as intended or nobody likes usually gets reverted, gets changed, gets fixed. That's what a PTB is for. But literally everything wrong in the PTB made its way to the live servers and then some, and then we didn't fix bugs that we've been had on top of that.
And that's what I hate.
What's
It
really bringing
looks
this chapter down,
sloppy,
making
and
this
it's also a
chapter bad.
disservice
Like, what's
to
the
the
point in
people who
having a
provide the
PTB if you're not going to
license.
fix everything in the PTB?
It
That's the
makes
point of the
you
PTB.
less
Clown,
likely to
why
get
didn't he get changed?
new,
Houndmaster
even
still
better
hasn't been changed
licenses.
for months. The chase bug that was in the PTB made it to live. The one bug that could break the game that was in the PTB and everyone was aware of made it to live. How? Tell me how. And of course, all of this is in the same update where we buffed the pig, bro. I just want to play pig sometimes, bro. And just all these bugs that aren't being fixed, all these bugs that were in the PTB that didn't get changed, these promises of things like clown
Well, it
getting
actually
changed
makes pig
didn't
stronger
happen
because
after
you
you
can
said you would change it
count
from the
people on
PTB. Like, you
traps.
know what I mean? All of this is
Since
what's
they're not
bringing this
affected by
chapter
chase
down.
time.
We really need to slow down on releases. Maybe I think behavior really needs to, because we can't
Absolutely.
have these bugs in the game for so long. Knight is still like the buggiest killer. He's been out for 2 years. What? I mean, I'm not complaining.
I wouldn't say Knight's the buggiest. I would say Twins is. Twins is still by far the buggiest. Buggiest killer out there. Knight is pretty buggy, but I would even say they fix most of the bugs on him. Houndmaster has quite a bit of bugs too.
Because Knight is boring to go against, and I don't really play Knight like that, because
Knight is extremely fun to go against, especially when you are able to capture the flag. I wish more survivors would actually play the capture the flag game, and I wish that the banner spawned a little bit quicker.
think he's kind of boring. So the less Knights, maybe the better, but come on, bro. And yeah, that's why this chapter is not going well and could go down as one of the worst in Dead by Daylight history. But the reason why it won't is because there are some good things in this chapter. The Pyramid Head add-on changes are amazing.
Yes, I've heard very good things about
Nah,
that.
I'm fucking with you guys. Not everything is that bad. Pyramid Head's changes are amazing. I've been playing a lot of Pyramid Head lately, and his add-on changes are so nice. Especially, I love the undetectable one, and I have the one where I can keep the sword in the ground longer. And then when I use R rating perks, I just get free hits, bro. Like, this character is like much more fun now. The pig changes, obviously, I love the pig changes. Pig is one of my most played killers, so I'm glad that she's getting changed. Another thing I want to talk about is the new items are really cool and nice. Like all the changes to the keys, where even the brown key, you can see all of your teammates within 48 meters for 8 seconds. Like that just makes the item more useful.
Yeah, that is very strong. That replaces a perk entirely.
And one thing I'm glad that they did is they retired add-ons, and now you only have 5 decent add-ons. Like this is what I think. This is way more perfect than having all these unnecessary add-ons. Same thing going with maps. Now maps give you base camp.
I like having variety because I was able to make some pretty unique combos with the different add-ons.
Fire. And again, they retired a bunch of add-ons, and now they only have 5 add-ons, and they're all useful. Like, I love this. It makes it much more simpler to use. Not only that, that's less offerings that you're forced to buy from the Blood Web. Now all we have to do is we got to do it for toolboxes.
I like having
there's
variety.
no reason to have 11 add-ons on a toolbox.
The only add-on I really wish they would have got rid of is, or item, is the broken key, because it did nothing without add-ons.
When the only thing people are gonna bring is like this and this. Like this is the only thing they're bringing. We gotta do the same thing for flashlights. Just literally combined all the add-ons to make them 5 add-ons, and then change the med kits, obviously, because we have 5, 10, 13 add-ons, and people only use like these, like this, or they only use like this. Also, another thing I want them to change is get rid of these fuck-ass offerings, bro. I will never need this. And yeah, other than a lot of bug
I really agree with the lower percent blood point offerings. I feel like we should get rid of those.
Fixes, like a lot of bug fixes. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to change how the chapter is seen so far, because the release of the chapter is pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie, I've been having more fun playing Survivor than Killer, even though I'm higher rank on Killer. The item changes are cool. Also, I forgot to talk about this. Spawn logic is broken, because you know how all survivors are supposed to spawn together? Tell me why one game, I'm so mad I didn't get a clip of it. One game, I brought Corrupt Intervention, and all 3 survivors spawned on a gen that wasn't blocked. How does that even happen? And if it makes you guys believe me anymore, I was playing Legion, and I ended up slugging them because they were getting toxic. So anyways, can we nerf Kaneki? And yeah, I wouldn't say this chapter is one of the worst, because there's a lot of good changes that came with it, but the fact that we had a PTB to find bugs and then release the bugs on top of the bugs we already have is kind of crazy. Like, not fixing Knight and Houndmaster, I could get over that if you didn't introduce 40 new bugs to the game. And yeah, so far The Walking Dead is looking like a slight failure to Dead by Daylight, like as a licensed chapter.
Oh yeah, it's a complete injustice.
Yeah, I think this might be a miss. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think though. How is this chapter treating you? I mean, I pretty much already.
With me personally, I have not been enjoying it. I find it to be a chapter that has really failed to capture my attention. It's basically been the chapter that is making me take a big long pause away from DBD, even though not too much has happened. And I already played most of the start of the new season of the finals. Um, I've already. There is a new RuneScape event, but I'm not too interested in that. And there's also Battlefield 6 is coming out, but I can't even really use it on a computer. And Hunt Showdown had a new event, but I'm not really interested in that because they haven't released any new weapons. So, for me personally, it should, for somebody who has 6,000 hours in a game, normally TBD captures my attention, but it has not been capturing my attention like it normally does because event has been a complete and utter failure. So, with that being said, I hope everybody has a great, wonderful day. Make sure you check out this dude here, and we'll see. Oh, he talking about Shane Sylvia. Make sure you give him like and follow. He's a pretty cool guy. But anyways, I will see you around, and bye bye.